Listen, I don't even know if I'm streaming right now. Don't you just love technology? All right, so I think I'm streaming right now. So let me just check on that real quick. Yeah. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. So hopefully you made it this far throughout this silence, this void. But I got a juicy one for you. Look, y'all y'all are gonna make me late for work today. I really need to like start moving. I need to get myself together. I got big things happening, but I can't. I just can't. Yo, what is going on? I'm sorry too, Siri. God damn, what is going on? I'm now, all right. So y'all already know where I'm going. I'm obviously not going to talk about Janet Yellen right now at the moment. That's some big shit too. But there's no way that this can be ignored. I saw this on Twitter. This dude, man, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. God, I gotta get used to this live stuff. Um, yeah, there it is. Now listen. I had a friend the first time. I mean, he's still my friend, but the first time that Donald Trump ran for president against Hillary Clinton, he's black. He was like, "I'm gonna vote for Trump," and then everybody was like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" Now, don't get me wrong. People, of course, are free to believe whatever they want to believe and vote for whoever they want to vote for, but by no means make the mistake of thinking that you're 100% on their team. When they constantly make laws, Republicans, MAGA, it doesn't, MAGA takes it even further than just your Republicans of yesteryear. So, I mean, enacting all sorts of laws that dilute or try to infringe or take away from the black vote in different areas. I mean, it's blatantly obvious what they're doing. I mean, in areas where there are a lot of minorities or just a lot of liberal thinking, Republicans are 100% rigging this election coming up for the presidency. I made a video about that. Like Harris County in Texas, there's all sorts of changes that are being made, but when asked to justify the changes to the way that they're going to do the elections in Harris County and how that's going to be overseen, it only applies to Harris County and not the rest of Texas. I mean, it's ridiculous stuff like that. Taking away, early voting by mail. Actually, the Republicans shouldn't give up on the voting by mail thing. I mean, I don't want to give you all advice, but it would kind of be huge. But I don't know. I don't know. This dude. Let's get back to this. All right. So first, the Blue Lives Matter thing. Now, first and foremost, I got no beef with any police officer that I've ever met in my life. I've never had a bad interaction with police. I'm lucky because you hear about all sorts of stories from my local area, from all over the country, from all over the world. They're dealing with this shit in France. I mean, come on. There's obviously a problem. And quite frankly, people are people no matter where you go. So you're going to have some people that are going to be all about the job, understand what it means, and do it the way that it should be done. And then you're going to have some people that just want to, I don't know, do what they view as providing justice. I don't even know what to say about it. Because I mean, they're not the people that are infringing upon other people's rights while they're going about doing their business as a police officer. I mean, you're a disgrace to the other people that are trying to do the job right and maintain the respect of the community and really try to build those bonds that are really just being eroded. So yeah, for all of the police officers out there that do their job, do it right. Look, I appreciate you. I am absolutely glad that we have police officers. Not for 1 second do I think that we should not have police officers. But there's I mean, look, I'm always on the outside looking in for all of this stuff, but it seems like there's a certain code that you're not going to give up these terrible people. And quite frankly, you should. I mean, they got to be kicked out. They got to be identified. And I'm sorry, because they're going to drag down the whole thing. They're the rotten apples that will ruin the bunch. But getting back to this dude, um, God, the Blue Lives Matter thing was just a response to the Black Lives Matter thing. So as soon as that phrasing came up, I felt like there were a bunch of people that were of fair skin in this country that felt like they needed to say something in response. So all lives matter. Blue lives matter. You don't care about police. You don't care about all lives. No, just because I say save the whales, that doesn't mean fuck the dolphins. You know what I'm saying? I hate that, argument where it's like, oh, you don't believe anything like this, blah, blah, blah. No. There is a belief. It's nuanced, and you're just not taking the time to understand it, and you're just shouting really loud. But yeah, so, I mean, he's got the American flag there, the real one. But, I mean, that's problematic as far as its history goes. But, if you're an American, you're an American. I'm an American. I'm not hiding from that fact. He's got the gun. Got no problem with that. No problem with gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. And then the M.A.G.A thing. So look. Y'all, I got to get going. Look, as far as that goes, there was this one line on The Walking Dead. Went back when I used to watch it. I probably should pick that back up because that's probably still a decent show. But yeah, there was this one line that the character Daryl received from this guy that was just he was hanging out with him and his boys out in the woods when he was apart from their main group. Anyway, that's not important. If you haven't seen the show, that doesn't matter. The guy's looking at Daryl and he goes, one of the worst things in the world is when an outdoor cat thinks it's an indoor cat. Now listen, I don't fully know what that shit means, but there's nothing worse in the world than when an outdoor cat thinks it's an indoor cat. Now, when I say that, actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that because that makes it seem like one of the cats is way better than the other. In this regard, here's what I'm saying. I'm doing this live. I don't have any script to this. I'm just talking to you. So sometimes my analogies might not land. But, yeah, so, I mean, he is... Oh, let me show you what he says. Hang on. Let me show you what he says. You got to see what he says. Let me see if I can't zoom in on this. Technology. All right, so he says, great to... Oh, hashtag God's not woke. At the Brock Easley. He says, great to live in a country where I can pray and carry a gun, support our police officers at the same time, and fuck celebrating Juneteenth. Well, hey, listen, you're free to believe anything you want in this country. Now, there are certain people, groups of people that want to change the way that people behave in this country and the way that they believe. There are people in Congress right now under the M.A.G.A banner that 100%, if they could make Christianity the law of the land, they would. And somehow they either don't understand the difference between that and the Sharia law that they always try to hype up as being something that's on the way. They're trying to instill Sharia law. No, you're trying to instill Christianity, which, quite frankly, you can keep it. But as far as this goes, they're all about changing the way that people behave in this country. The social politics, that's what they're really all about. They want to say it's the Democrats, but it's really the Republicans that are all about the social issues. That's what they kind of care about the most, and not really like the real shit that is needed to run the country and benefit the world and stop climate change. So yeah, that's what they're all about. I'm rambling. But yeah, he's free to believe whatever he wants. But quite frankly, the people that he's supporting want to limit those freedoms, want to limit what you can say, what you can do, the books you can read. the people that you can vote for. So appreciate those freedoms while they last. And as far as you go, my friend, I think there will be a few that are more than happy to include you, and they will welcome you. There are a few. And to those few, that's kind of commendable. Then there are those that will look at you and go, this is useful. Let him keep doing what he's doing. This is great. It shows us that the bullshit statements that we say about black people might be kind of true. And he's kind of proving that. Or there are some people that are just like, and I'm not saying this specifically for the word idiot, but maybe he's just, to many of them, a useful idiot. I mean, how many of all of the black people in this country, how many do you see supporting Donald Trump? And quite frankly, a lot of the black people that do, it skews heavily male. So that's something that's interesting too, that we may have to talk about in a future episode. But I don't think for one moment that group 100% really accepts him. Not even close. I think he will get cred just because, he's riding a wave. But quite frankly, that wave will end when the shit hits the fan. So definitely, if you like what you've been watching, it's been rough. If you like what you've been watching, I got to get to work. Subscribe, please. I mean, that's going to keep me doing this. That's going to make it bigger. We're going to take it to new heights. But you have to subscribe. You have to like and all of that stuff. But yeah, I just can't.